welcome to highlights of practice from the first of two races here in Saudi Arabia for the Formula E Prix. Rounds 2 and 3 then of the ABB Formula E World Championship in 2023. Jake Dennis won the opener in Mexico City in dominant fashion, but will that continue here this weekend? We go from a fast-paced, purpose-built race circuit to our first proper street circuit of the year. Let's take a look and see how the drivers managed on Thursday when we got underway with first practice under the lights. And so we are underway then for the first practice session of the weekend. It's Thursday night here in Saudi Arabia and we are all set to go. We are powered by renewable energy, lighting all of the electronic bulbs around this circuit. And ahead of us is going to be the first practice. It's round 2 of the season, the championship taking us all the way from Mexico City, doubleheader here in Diriyah, Hyderabad, Cape Town, Sao Paulo, double in Berlin, Monaco, double in Jakarta, that's got the same flag, which is odd looking at the calendar, Portland on the 24th of June, double in Rome, and then double down in London as well when the season rounds out. Jake Dennis, the championship leader, coming into this weekend after victory in Mexico City as well. 26 points to Pascal Wehrlein's 18. He got a bonus point to Jake Dennis for the fastest lap. Lucas de Grassi, Andre Lotto, Jake Hughes completing the top 5 as well. We are going to be in for a very entertaining weekend. We have got Nick Cassidy in one of the Envisions as well, looking in alongside Sebastian Buemi. But it's all changed at Cupra as well, after Robin Freins has broken his wrist and extensive surgery taken as well. Kelvin van der Linde, the DTM World Champion, steps into his seat as well. It's all change, it's all go. Let's see what the first practice session has to offer. 2 minutes until that gets going. It's a 30-minute session, and then we will be green in Diriyah. And it's green light, and away we go. The first practice session is underway here in Saudi Arabia. This is going to be a crucial time then to see exactly what these drivers can do under the lights as well. Away they go. And they had a shakedown session earlier on. It was 30 minutes in length, so they had pretty much a practice session additionally. Usually it's only 15 minutes, but as we had a light failure there down at turn number 1, the lights briefly went out as the drivers were coming out of the pit lane. That was a bit of a interesting faction as well. Let's hope no one was injured. Everyone looks to have got through that cleanly. Now, basically, as well, just want to clarify this, we did have a shakedown session earlier on. It was 30 minutes in length as well. Usually it's 15, but it was extended because they've tested the new emergency brake system as well, because we've been worried about brake failures happening in these cars as well ever since Mexico City and pre-season testing. So they've got the emergency brake, they tested it out, and all was perfect as well. Additionally as well, Rene Rast has been given a €1,000 fine for front regen power overuse as well, over the use of 250 kilowatts during lap 2. So he's been fined that as well. Also fined for the same deal was Sasa Fenestraz as well, for going over 250 kilowatts on lap 3. That's what I've just looked up on the laptop here in front of us. Dry conditions at the moment. We did have overnight rain, which in some of the resurfaced parts of the track you can still see some damp lines on the circuit, but all looks okay. Across the start line, of course, then turns the last couple of corners, 18, 19, 20 and 21, take us to where the control line is for the finish line and where the dummy grid will be. So the formation laps tomorrow are going to be very interesting, or today when you're watching this as well. It's going to be very entertaining to see. But I must also stress to you that this is going to be a very crucial practice, because this is going to be the only time they'll get to run at night until the race tomorrow. So this is a crucial half an hour, especially for Kelvin van der Linde. Mortara's on a lap time now, and he's through the bobsleigh section of the circuit as well, throwing the car in left and right, and so far looks to be just warming up the tyres and getting ready. It's a good opening session for him. And we've entered our full course yellow test, which is Scott Elkin, the race director, just testing out the systems as well, making sure everything is okay in case we need to use the procedure during the race. So he and the marshals are all set up. We'll go back to green shortly as well. And Scott Elkin, the race director we're looking at now as well, seems very happy with the whole procedure. And we'll go to green soon. Okay, so apparently Rene Rast and Stoffel van Dorn have had a coming together. We're looking in it now. So Rene Rast is ahead, coming down into turn 18. And the front wing has gone. It's broken away from him down the straight. So he was locking up all the way straight on. So that is Rene Rast in the McLaren, the Neon McLaren, the home race for Neon as well, losing their front wing. That's a very strange situation there. They just failed under the braking, a bit of propulsing. The front just broke away. Rast Radio.
Huge amount of spare front wings.
I can't take this from Van Dorn, so maybe they've had a coming together at the back half of the track. Well,
has this done any damage, Rene? Damage question?
Yeah, the front nose. We moved in the same direction when I was about to pass him. Mamma mia.
Okay, so has that done any damage? Yes, as he was about to pass him. So it was Rast and Van Dorn who have crashed together on the circuit. Oh, so this is Van Dorn just in the way of Jake Hughes coming out the back of the track. So Van Dorn goes to move over to the right, and then Hughes was already running to the back of him. So that's Rast running to the back of him. So that's what happened at the back half of the track. But when we top 1:11.635, Hughes second, Evans is in third, Verline fourth, and Dennis rounding out the top five at the moment. Rast only done a 23.9 in the first sector, still now back out on the track with a new front wing. Whoa, Mortara running straight on down to turn 18, locking the brakes as well. That's lost his decent lap time. Briefly brought out the yellow flags. Back to green now, but Mortara having a little bit of a crucial mistake there. Dan Tictum is on an absolute flyer here. Personal best sector 1, personal best sector 2. Squiggles out the last corner and goes fastest. It's a 1:10.953, and Sasa Fenestras goes second, a tenth behind him. That is insanity from the pair of them. Neo and Nissan are right up there at the moment. Van Dorn, Vern 3-4.
He has this weekend radio from
P1 by 2/10, another push, good man.
Kelvin van der Linde crossed the line. And van der Linde goes 22nd, but he's only 1.8 seconds off the pace. That is very, very good from Kelvin van der Linde, who hopefully is going to have I know it's a baptism of fire this weekend, but he's going to be right up there, closing in and doing a great, great, great job. It's involving Rast and Van Dorn have been noted by the stewards. Norman Natter in the Nissan, nearly hitting the back of the Maserati of Eduardo Mortara down in the bobsleigh section. That's one thing we've always been worried about, and we're very worried it's going to happen in the race once that car just goes over the top of the bobsleigh section. But that was a bit of an alarming moment there for the Nissans. Jean-Eric Verne goes to the top, 1:10.486. Van Dorn second, so the Penske's back up to where they belong after a strong start to the pre-season. Evans, Hughes, Boemi the top five. Boemi's radio going from the background. Copies on the board. Hughes on an outlap. So's to Costa and Lotterer. Van der Linde is in 22nd, looking quite quick. And Sam Bird goes fastest. Sam Bird, who had a miserable weekend in Mexico, goes top by 84 hundredths of a second. Fantastic. Fantastic with 30 seconds to go. So, into the last 10 seconds, and Sete Camera's got a traffic as well. Sete Camera's got massive traffic coming out of the final corner in the Neo, and he's lost it. Unbelievable. Go, 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 gun it, because the checker flag's out now. So he just about gets it, but that was dramatic for the Neo as the flag comes out. Vern, Tictum, so Vern, Hughes, Mortara, Lotto, Van der Linde, they've all missed it. Flag is out. So Sam Bird looks to maybe have got it, but that last corner for Norman Nato and Eduardo Mortara getting all held up. Buemi, good sector 1 and 2 with a personal best 22.8 first sector, 19.2 second sector. Buemi might just be able to find something. Into 18 and 19, the Kinker 20, then the last corner, the right-hander at turn 21 to lead you back onto the finish line. Where does Buemi finish this session? 8th at the moment across the line, goes up to 6th. on a 4:10 down the lap time as well. And I think nobody else looks like they're improving the lap times. Bar is that Vern second, yes. Yellow flag at turn 17 and 17.1. So who's down at 17? It's the 25. That's not Jean-Luc Vern. He's taken the checker flag. But Vern does look a bit slow. The yellows are out at turn 17. No sign of the TV pictures just yet. Vanderlyn crossed the line once again. So does the second. Roland goes 14th. And that yellow flag is now out because they're doing the practice starts. So it's practice start time here. Let's hear from Sam Birds.
Radio.
It's clear that the sort of changes worked, but interesting how it's worked. So, yeah, okay, cool.
So from the misery of Mexico City to the joys of Diriyah Practice 1, Bird last to first and takes the first session here. So let's take a look at the times then from the first practice session here in Diriyah. Sam Bird, the fastest to 1:10, 4:02. A couple of tenths behind him, Jean-Luc Vern second. Mitch Evans goes third. Stoffel Van Dorn is in fourth. Nick Cassidy fifth. Dan Ticktum sixth. Jake Hughes seventh. Sebastian Bormy eighth. Lucas de Grassi ninth. And Jake Dennis rounding out the top 10. Eduardo Mortara, Sasa Fenestraz, Sergio Sete Camera, Oliver Rowland, Rene Rast, Pascal Verline, Norman Nato, Nico Muller, Max Gunther, Antonio Felix Costa, Andre Lotterer, and Kelvin van der Linde down in 22nd place. Okay then, let's go over to Friday morning. It will be light here in Saudi Arabia to take a look at what happened in the second practice session. And Saturday has arrived. It's time for free practice 2 to get underway for the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. It's a bright sunny day, no sign of the rain that affected us over the previous few days. Air temperature is at 18 degrees, track temperature 29 degrees. It's coming up to 1:30 in the afternoon, and we're all set. As we head in towards the night for the second round of this championship, let's get ready. After Sam Bird topped yesterday, can he continue that progress today? We're about to find out when practice 2 gets underway. And we go green in Diriyah for the second practice session. Cars will begin to head out onto the circuit as well. Eduardo Mortara in the Maserati MSG Racing goes out as well. And they all come then piling out from the pit lane. 30 minutes then in a session that isn't really representative towards the race later. That was practice 1 yesterday, but this second practice, very crucial to get the car set up right, ready for qualifying in around about 2 hours' time. This will be exciting as we go round the heritage site here in Diriyah. And the racing can begin. Beautiful sunny sky, a few clouds further off in the distance. But this now should be getting a lot of re-grip as Van der Linde on the radio of that Cooper as well, just getting some stats as he heads out the circuit. First lap times on the board then. And Dan Ticktum and Sergio Sete Camera. I was just about to say about Sergio Sete Camera, but this is unbelievable, the amount of time they are getting out from the front here and running with it. Dennis now goes top. So a lot of unusual runners are taking the top honours here, which is what we like to see. Verline is pushing hard too. Rast goes 6th. And this session already going to be very crucial for qualifying later. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Oh, and we've lost pictures up in the box. Lucas de Grassi having a lock-up and running straight on down at turn 18 isn't very good to see as well. I'm glad to see the emergency brake stopped.
The wheels went straight in corner 18, was very weird.
You just heard him on the radio there as well. Very strange indeed as we continue on. Right, Nico Muller stopped on the track. If you take a look down at turn 16, you can see he stopped. Oh, and he's hit the wall. Muller's hit the wall, and he's broken the rear right suspension, and he's come to a stop. Now, why isn't that a red flag? Now, according to our timings, he stopped. Look, at the exit of turn 17, he's stopped, and he's pulled over. Where is that? On the circuit, there he is. He's in a service road. So he's managed to go, because it's downhill, that section, if you let it reverse freely backwards. So he's done that, and it's just about worked. So that's no red flag, but Muller hitting the wall in the App Cupra, and Thomas Breerman as well is not going to be very happy with that. Da Costa flying around the circuit with 6 minutes to go. Ticktum, Evans, Buemi, Verline, Rast the top 5. Ticktum is 4/10 of a second faster than Evans. It's a 1:10.099 for Ticktum. Evans a 1:10.580. Unbelievable the amount of time they managed to get out of this. It's been a quiet session. Bar Muller hitting the wall. Van der Linde actually moving up. Now 2.7 seconds back. He's closing in as well. So that's great in his first race. Of course, race 2 for him comes tomorrow. Da Costa slides coming out of 17, but has a personal best in the second sector. 6 minutes to go. There's a yellow flag at turn 18. I can't see anybody else off at the time. It's gone green now. Track clear now at sector 18. So somebody was wide, but whoever it was, it's gone now. And the checkered flag is out. The session comes to a close. Now, who's going to set the fastest times? That is the question. Looks like Dan Ticktum might have it. I've lost pictures on one monitor. Let's take a look at Lucas de Grassi. What's he done? Coming into the back half of the track into turn 18. Was it a little bit of a hit towards the wall? I think he's just got on the dust there as well. But Ticktum fastest. 2:10 clear to Sebastian Buemi at the moment as well. Evans is third. Van Dorn fourth. Bird fifth. A very entertaining session seems to be coming their way. We've lost TV pictures on the main monitor, which is where the audio comes from as well. Got it back now, which is good, but it's not exactly what we want to see. In fact, we're about 15 seconds behind on the main things as well. So it's gone again. Yellow flag out now for the practice starts, but the session comes to a close, and it was Dan Ticktum who's fastest in the second session. So here's the results then of the second session. Dan Ticktum the fastest, a 1:10.099. Sebastian Buemi goes second. Mitch Evans is third. Van Dorn fourth. Bird completes the top 5. Verline sixth. Santa Camera 7th. Rast 8th. Dennis 9th. Hughes is 10th. Mortara is in 11th position, followed by Roland, Lotterer, Vern, Nato, Gunther, de Grassi, Fenestras, Da Costa, Cassidy, Van der Linde and Muller as well. And we've had a lock-up at the back half of the track as well. One of the Envision's gone straight down. It is Cassidy and had to use the emergency brake system, we understand as well. That's all we've got time for then in the practice sessions. Join us for qualifying, which gets underway shortly here on the YouTube channel as well. But interesting, Bird and Ticktum, two unusual ones topping the practice sessions. We'll see you for qualifying.